everyone and welcome to another episode of The Jamie Hughes Show. My name as always is Jamie Hughes and today I'm going to be giving you my review of Escape Room. Now if you want to keep up to date with all the latest movie news and reviews, then make sure you hit that subscribe button, and as always in my videos this review may include spoilers, so you have now been warned. So Escape Room is actually a really fun teen horror flick. For what it was, I enjoyed it. I thought it was really fun, it was really over the top, it didn't really hold much back. Yes, it has its issues, yes, it took itself a little bit too seriously in points, and it did get a little bit convoluted towards the end of the movie, and I'll get onto that in a little bit. But I do want to talk about the positives because yes, it had its issues either side of the film, but I thought the middle section of this movie, when we were in the escape room and we were in the maze with the characters, it worked so well for me. I properly got invested in it. And I think that's a testament to this movie that I never felt bored during those scenes. I never felt like the film was dragging during the escape room parts, especially because essentially they were just doing the same thing in a different environment. You know, they were essentially looking for a way out or a key to move on to the next room. But I thought it worked really well having these different kind of rooms and elements to deal with. It kept it fun, it kept it innovative, and it definitely, as I say, got me invested in points. And I thought having the story tie in to the characters as well, yes, was maybe a little bit OTT and a bit cheesy, but it worked for me, you know, that we had these kind of nice character callbacks and flashback moments, and we got to, you know, delve a little deeper into these quite stereotypical characters, shall we say. But yeah, it worked for me, and as I said, they didn't really hold much back, and that was kind of where I started to respect this movie a little bit, because I was like, yeah, you're going all out, you're going OTT with these rooms, you're going a little bit OTT with the story as well. And one scene that I loved in particular is where it's kind of towards the film's climax, where the two characters get poisoned and the camera work just goes crazy. They've got big bobbleheads, they're just going mental, and I just thought it worked so well because they took a lot of risks. And yeah, alright, some of them didn't really pay off, but for the most part they worked, and that is what I liked about this movie so much, is that it did go really over the top and all out, and it did definitely work for me. Now, I said that it went all out. There were a few moments where, you know, this film did kind of get lost in itself and that I didn't really enjoy. As I say, I mentioned at the beginning, but the beginning of this movie, you know, the introduction into the characters was a little bit weak, you know, and I think the characters for the most part, although they kind of grew into the story when we first met them, you know, they were all kind of stereotypical characters. You had the ex-army loner, you had the nerdy girl, you had the guy that was like addicted to video games, you essentially, you know, you had the stoner, you had the businessman who has no family, you have the kind of strange weird guy. They were all just very stereotypical, but we started to peel back the surface a little bit on these characters, and we got somewhat of some character development. So although it started off a little bit shaky with these over-the-top stereotypical characters, I think they did pull it back a little bit for me with the characters. And also I think one of my biggest issues with this film is the ending. I feel like it should have ended maybe 5 or 6 minutes earlier than what it did, because it had this kind of fun ending where, you know, they went back to the warehouse and, you know, the warehouse was empty. She realised that the anagram for the doctor made no way out, and she does this horrific scream, and that's kind of it. I think that's where they should have ended the film, but we got this little bit tacked on where, you know, they wanted to go back. We found out that the other kind of characters in this movie had been mysteriously killed in different ways, and they wanted to go and delve deep, and they wanted to kind of enact their revenge on the people behind the escape rooms. And again, you could have ended it there. We knew they were going to New York. It kind of set up a sequel quite nicely, but then we got a little bit more added on to the end of it, where we saw them in the kind of simulation, and this evil corporation had taken their passports and they were going to try and, you know, play out another escape room 20,000 feet in the air. And again, it just got a little bit convoluted. It kind of felt to me like they were trying to tie everything up, but they were trying to leave things open for a sequel as well, which was a shame. They should have gone one way or the other. I would have left it quite open and ambiguous myself, because, you know, there is still room for a sequel there. But yeah, tying it up, having this corporation just hanging about, just didn't really work for me. And it sounds like really cheesy to say, but for like the last couple of minutes when we got to see behind the curtain of the corporation and we saw that mysterious like blacked out figure, I was just so hoping that there was going to be a John Kramer reveal and this movie was going to tie in to the Saw universe. I know it's a little bit cheesy and it's probably a little bit predictable, but I just would have loved it. I thought it would have been, again, just a really fun twist for this movie. But that being said, do you know what I mean? Like, it has its issues, it's not perfect, but if you take it for what it is, I think you will enjoy Escape Room. I certainly did, a lot more than I thought I was going to. But if you guys have seen Escape Room, did you love it, did you hate it? Let me know your thoughts on it, as always, down in those comments below. And if you did enjoy this video and you want to keep up to date with all the latest movie news and reviews, then make sure you hit that subscribe button, and I will see you in the very next episode of The Jamie Hughes Show. Ta-ra!